அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். We'll move on to the last content about calculation of performance of schemes or returns in mutual funds. In the continuation of risk, one more time, risk is nothing but expecting the unexpected. Risk is nothing but getting the return what it is not expected, a deviation from expectation, which is called the risk. Whenever the risk is there, naturally there is other point says, yes, the investor says, yes, I know there is a risk in market. To mitigate or equalize the risk in equities, the reason why I am coming to the mutual fund, to average the risk and adjusted the risk. Through the adjustment of risk and all, the investor will get a fair return from the investments. While investments are made on the basis of take into consideration of both risk and return, and measure the scheme performance that considered both risk and return are called risk adjusted returns. So the risk adjusted return is a methodology followed, practiced in a mutual fund market to find out the value of the return by means of take into the risk and return. Both will be given the equal weightage, and then we'll name it as the risk adjusted return, or the return is called. While you are calculating the risk adjusted return, there are two type of ratios will help the calculator to find out the reality of the risk adjusted returns. One is Sharpe ratio and another one is the Traynor ratio. It is same as such in the standard deviation and beta. Sharpe ratio, which is meant for the a particular one, and the Traynor ratio, which is meant for the entire portfolio. What the Sharpe ratio says, or how the Sharpe ratios using the technology or technique to calculate the value of the particular return of the scheme is, it relates how it is worked out means it is relate the excess return generated over risk-free return by an investment to the standard deviation. Here I have to understand what is meant by excess return, what is meant by risk-free return. Excess return, of course, everybody knows what I am going to expected over and above, it is called excess return. What is meant by risk-free return? That is the important one. Risk-free return, it is nothing but if I am not investing the investment in this particular investment, instead of that I keep my investment in the what we call a government securities, means it is called risk-free return. Simply நம்ம சொல்றதா இருந்தா, இப்போ நான் கவர்மெண்ட் செக்யூரிட்டிஸ்ல இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணேன்னு சொன்னேன்னா எனக்கு எந்த ரிஸ்க்கும் கிடையாது. கண்டிப்பா என்ன ரிட்டர்ன் இருக்குதோ அந்த ரிட்டர்ன் கண்டிப்பா எனக்கு என்ன பண்ணிடும், கிடைச்சிரும். இப்போ ட்ரெஷரி பில்ல நான் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா 8% கண்டிப்பா எனக்கு கிடைச்சிரும். அதுக்கு எனக்கு எந்த விதமான சிரமமும் கிடையாது. ஸோ அப்ப அஷ்யூர்டா கண்டிப்பா எனக்கு கிடைக்கும்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா அந்த ரிட்டர்னுக்கு பேர் ரிஸ்க் ஃப்ரீ ரிட்டர்ன். அப்ப in Sharpe ratio, what we are going to do, or what the Sharpe ratio says mean, yes, there is a market for risk-free return, while that particular risk-free return is compared with the excess and over and above the return. Naturally, if suppose I am getting the 10% or 11%, 13%, 9% over and above the risk-free return, that is what is called the Sharpe ratio. When the over and above the risk-free return, it is good. Yes, it's well written or fine return. Less than with the risk-free return, it is worst. That is not a attractive one. The same it is for Traynor ratio. It compares the excess return generated over risk-free return by an investment to the beta. That means again it is a whole. The entire portfolio is going to be compared, which is called the Traynor ratio. It is also says when over and above more return or excess return will be the good for the public. That one more thing we have to add while comparing about risk adjusted return. The Traynor ratio is based on beta. The same way alpha is also calculated. This alpha, beta are the technical names. Beta, which is meant for risk, and alpha is meant for the return. Alpha is defined as the excess or supernormal return generated by the investment. இது எப்படி சொல்லலாம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா, ஒரு மார்க்கெட்ல இது நடக்கவே முடியாது, ஆனா நடக்குது. நான் வந்து எதிர்பார்க்கறது 8% தான் நார்மலாக எதிர்பார்க்குறேன், ஆனால் எனக்கு கிடைச்சது 12%, 14%. தட் இஸ் வாட் இஸ் கால் இட் இஸ் தியர் த ஆல்ஃபா ரிட்டர்ன். ஹவு இட் இஸ் கம்? Is it possible? If it is come means how it is to be calculated, so that alpha measures the value that the fund manager brought to the equity scheme performance. So naturally here is also higher the alpha value for an equity scheme, the better it is considered to the reason. So இது எப்படி நடக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னீங்கன்னா, it is the possibilities or the functioning of the fund manager. The fund manager is be so or active. Because of active, he continuously tightly watch there the market movements. Based on the market movements, he will keep on changing there the investment portfolio. So naturally that person will catch up there the market return. Because of the reason that scheme will provide there the more return, that is what is called there the alpha. Fairly, the other side is also, when you are keep on changing there the return, naturally you will receive the risk is also, it cannot be avoided. That for reason we are using the beta, and the Trina ratio is going to be helped us. And the second one of risk is there the scheme comparison to benchmark. Already we had a discussion regarding about benchmark. What is the benchmark? Benchmark is nothing but a reference. Out of 100 number of shares, which one is performing more than the market, that is called there the benchmark, beat with here the all the risk and return and all. ஒரு 100 ஸ்கீம் இருக்குது, இந்த 100 ஸ்கீம்ல ஒரு 2 ஸ்கீம் எல்லா ரிஸ்கையும் பேர் பண்ணி பக்காவா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்றது அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா, அதுதான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா எல்லா அட்ஜஸ்டடும் பண்றது, அதை நம்ம ரெஃபரன்ஸா எடுத்துக்கிறோம். ஸோ ரெஃபரன்ஸா அவனை எடுத்துக்கிட்டோம்னா அதை நம்ம என்ன மீன் பண்றோம், பெஞ்ச் மார்க்னு சொல்றோம். As and when every scheme is compared with here the particular benchmark, which is named as here the performer of the particular fund, it is overperformed or underperformed. Overperformed mean when the scheme return is more than the benchmark, it is overperformed. When the scheme return is less than the benchmark, it is called the underperform. So both are possible. Again, it is all depend upon the fund manager attitude and fund manager capability of keep on changing the fund and all. While the case of distributors and a new cadre of distributors, that mean that we have discussed about in the chapter 1 and unit 1, is the people who are involving in the normal business, being that post office or maybe a retired teacher, a retired bank officer. These are all group of people are permitted to sell only performing schemes, and performing scheme, it is nothing but it's performed better than the benchmark in each of the 3 financial year. So benchmark அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா பெட்டர் பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுதுன்னு நினைத்தனா, கடந்த 3 வருஷத்துல எந்த ஸ்கீம் வந்து நல்லா வந்து பெர்ஃபார்ம், தட் இஸ் ஓவர் அபவ் தியர் த பெஞ்ச்மார்க் இருக்கோ, அந்த யூனிட்ஸை அந்த ஸ்கீமை விற்கிறதுக்கு மட்டும்தான் பெர்மிஷன் இருக்குது. அண்டர் பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பண்றதுக்கு நியூ கார்டருக்கு என்ன கிடையாது, பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பெர்மிஷன் கிடையாது. ஸோ இன் திஸ் ஸ்லைட் we had a discussion. We have discussed about risk adjusted returns. It is says about balancing of risk and return. It is comprised using the 2 formulas or the 2 ratios. One is Sharpe ratio, Trina ratio, and the Trina ratio using the beta, and next one is there the what we call it as there the alpha, and also what is meant by benchmark and how it is to be calculated. Nandri.